Hello and welcome. We're just going to talk a little bit about some sleep issues and any solutions that we can offer you. Hopefully what we say might be of some help. So lack of sleep is a big problem in the UK for children. Around 25% of children have a sleeping problem. Around 50% of our children will experience a sleep issue at some point in their childhood. And research shows that poor sleep habits as a child can lead to long-term sleep problems. So it's really important to address any sleep issues at this early age to avoid them long term. How much sleep is enough sleep? So babies need between 12 to 17 hours of sleep a day. Toddlers need between 11 to 14 hours. Preschool children, so that's 3 and 4 year olds, need 10 to 13 hours. And school-age children need between 9 and 11 hours sleep.
So just a little bit of science for you about the sleep cycle. Before we drift off, our brain starts to produce a hormone called melatonin. Sleep cycle typically lasts between 90 and 120 minutes as the brain cycles from slow wave sleep into REM sleep, which is where we dream and our eyes flicker. So stage 1 is a light sleep, and it's a short stage of about 5 to 10 minutes. Our mind and body begin to slow down and we relax. Stage 2 is still referred to as light sleep, but your brain waves and muscle activity decreases and your body prepares for a deeper sleep. It's believed that it's in this stage that memory consolidation and processing happens. Stage 3 and 4, known as slow wave sleep, this is where we become much more difficult to wake up. Our breathing, blood pressure and body temperature all decrease, and it's this stage where the body produces growth hormones and our body repairs itself. And finally, we go into stage 5, rapid eye movement sleep. This is where we dream, our heart, blood pressure all increases. This stage of sleep is still being studied, but it's believed this plays a vital part in the brain being able to learn and remember.
So some common sleep problems in children. So self-settling. This is a big difficulty, and it's when children cannot settle themselves at the start of the night. This is when parents sometimes resort to getting into bed with children, or they might take them for a walk out in the buggy to get them to sleep, or even for a drive in the car to get to sleep. So this is trying to get them through. So once they've come through the sleep cycle to a point of partial awakening and realise things have changed, then they need attention. So it's a vicious circle, really, a vicious cycle where parents are being woken up, trying to get the children back to sleep, etc. But teaching children to soothe themselves can be done gently and gradually, but consistency is the key. Another problem in children is changes in routine. So often children are poorly, things like Christmas happens, holidays, etc. And obviously all our routines go out the window. But it's really important to try and stick to routines in the evening. It allows children to feel much more secure. Obviously, discomfort and sensory issues can sometimes hinder sleep. If the mattress is a bit uncomfortable, sometimes it doesn't help sleep. And also sensory issues, so if there's lots of noise around and things like that. So it's really important to try and make sure that the room hasn't got any sensory overload and things. Fear and anxiety can be a big thing, so sometimes children are afraid of the dark. There are lots of books out there that you can read with children to talk about this fear and to try and help them get over it. Also, nighttime wetting, or sometimes children wet themselves at night. So it's just working with the children to try and overcome some of these sleep problems.
Okay, we can really help our children by building up a good bedtime routine. You need to take time to plan your routine, and ideally it should start about an hour before actual bedtime. Display your routine, pop it on the fridge so everyone knows in the family exactly what's going to happen and when. And as Nikki said, really be consistent with it. Try to have a set wake-up time, and I know it's really hard on the weekend when everyone's tired and wants to lie in, but it helps your child's body clock if they have the same bedtime and wake-up time every day of the week. Turn off all screens and dim the lights. At the beginning of the routine, turn off all gadgets, turn off the lights. This will then help produce that important hormone, melatonin, our sleepy hormone. You can also provide a sleepy food snack, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a little while. A bedtime box is really useful. These contain things such as hand-to-eye coordination games like jigsaws, colouring, threading. This also promotes relaxation. A bath is a really good thing. This decreases our body temperature, which helps us to nod off more easily. For older children, they might like to read or do some crafts before bedtime in order to relax.
So what does a good sleep routine look like? Obviously, we will have our own sleep routine, but this is just an example. So maybe at 7 o'clock, you could dim the lights, turn off all screen activity. Then 5 minutes later, do a calming activity, maybe hand-eye coordination or colouring, drawing, things like that. 7:15, a supper time with some sleepy foods. 7:30, bath time, if this is appropriate for that night, or a massage or a mindfulness activity. Pyjamas on, from the radiator maybe, so they're nice and warm and cosy. And then at 8 o'clock, hugs and kisses, but you need to say it's sleep time. If a child gets up to follow you, gradually retreat, return, just to say sleep time, stay calm, try not to have too much eye contact or conversation, and just keep saying it's sleep time.
Okay, so the bedroom environment plays an important role in getting a good night's sleep, and there's a lot to consider, including temperature, light and comfort, and here are just a few tips to help with that. So in terms of decoration, bright colours are often overstimulating, so try and decorate in neutral colours. Around 18 degrees is the ideal temperature in a bedroom. A gadget-free zone, so again, no TVs, no phones, no bright lights. Put distractions away, so if there's lots of toys out, pop them in the toy box or put a blanket over them, not to distract little ones. For older children, maybe put homework away so they're not worrying about it. Create a dark environment using blackout blinds, but obviously if your child is afraid of the dark, you might want a soft glowing light. And create positivity around sleep and bedtime. Make it a nice, enjoyable time. Please do not use an early bedtime as a sanction, so it's seen negatively.
So we talked about relaxation. So feeling relaxed is important in the run up to bedtime for both you as a parent and the child. If your child is experiencing sleep difficulties, it can make you both feel anxious, and children often pick up on our stress levels. So that's why we're talking about trying to create a relaxing and calm environment as bedtime approaches. So as Stacey said, turn off screens an hour before bedtime. This stops the production of melatonin, and they are mentally stimulating, so we need to take those away. Maybe set a time earlier in the day, maybe when they get home from school, just to ask if they've got any worries. Then you can give your full attention and address any issues without trying to do that at bedtime. Relaxing activities can be things like a nice warm bath, a massage, doing some jigsaws or doing some colouring. Mindfulness as well, so these are things like lying down and squeezing all your muscles and relaxing, squeezing your muscles and relaxing. You could try breathing techniques such as pretending to blow out some candles, and then you're blowing away any worries as they exhale. Sometimes you can put a soft toy on your tummy, and the children's tummy, and they can lie down and watch it go up and down as they inhale and exhale. Also, you could do what are 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And you can talk about those things, and all these things hopefully will get your child nice and relaxed.
Okay, what your child eats during the day may impact on their sleep during the night. So a light snack an hour before bedtime may be helpful for some children. Avoid heavy meals as it can make it more difficult to sleep, but a snack is good so that your child does not wake hungry. It's best to avoid sugar, but also consider natural sugar levels when providing a snack. For example, fruit and natural fruit juice do contain a lot of sugar, and too much of this near to bedtime is not ideal. Avoid caffeine from late afternoons, and this is not just tea and coffee, but also these are things found in fizzy drinks and also even in hot chocolates. An ideal snack is something containing magnesium, something such as almonds, bananas. Cherries are shown to naturally produce melatonin, that's sleepy hormone. Cereals are great, but not sugar-coated. Also things such as yogurts, milk and cheese. Dairy products are great. They contain something called tryptophan, which helps us to sleep, and also contains calcium, which is a stress reduction. And also, just to say, cheese does not give you nightmares.
There are some outside agencies out there that can support you if you need it. So there is the National Sleep Helpline, and the number is 03303 530 541. There's also something called Calm at www.calm.com, which is an app for guided meditation and sleep stories. Headspace also gives you tools and resources to look after your mind, and they do have a section on sleep. We hope we've provided you with some useful information. If you have any questions or queries, you could always pop in to nursery and speak to Stacey or myself. Thank you.